Here, just a quick impromptu get together here on Facebook Live. I did not plan on doing this, but I just wanted to share what I would consider to be a teachable moment with my children, with you. And I want to share it because I believe that we all can benefit from this conversation. So that is why I am on here right now. For those of you that normally catch my live on Ben Shop Radio, I want to apologize. I had some issues with my equipment, and I'm trying to figure out how to get back to streaming on multiple platforms. I'm trying to share while I'm talking to you right now. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to learn how to stream on multiple platforms. There's some issue going on with my camera, so I'm going to get that fixed. In the meantime, I'm just going to share my page, share my live straight over to Ben Shop Radio. I'm not seeing anything right now, so I'm not sure if I'm live. But I wanted to get on here today and just share with you guys what I would consider to be a teachable moment with my children. Us adults, we still struggle with this conversation that I'm about to have with you. So that's why I wanted to come on here and share it with us all, because we can benefit, I believe, from this conversation. So there we go. I finally got getting a chance to share this over to the other pages. So bear with me while I share this to Family Talk and to Ben Shop Radio, and then we will get started. How are we doing today? This is Super Bowl weekend for those of you that follow football, and I am excited. I'm going to spend a little bit of downtime tomorrow, so we won't be live tomorrow. We're going to start our new series next week, Sunday. But today, I just want to jump on here and talk to you real quick about what I consider to be a teachable moment. So, my children and I were having a conversation about a difficulty that they found themselves in multiple times. See, we try to teach our children to have a relationship with God and to have goals. Have goals, know what you want out of life, and have a personal walk with God so God could guide you with your decisions, with your goals, and so on and so forth. And so this conversation was a conversation with my youngest, Emmanuel, who's 14, and Chelsea, who is 17. She's going off to college soon. And so the difficulty that they both were having was, they have their goals and they are focused on them. And of course, they're, seeking God to see what he's doing or what he's looking to do with them next and so on, and what decisions they should make. And as they feel like they've heard from God about what they should do, and then they begin to do those things, they find themselves getting distracted. And I'm sharing this because I feel like us adults, we find ourselves in this plight also. And so how do they get distracted? They have friends that might call them up and say, hey, based on what we do together, or the things that we're doing in school or sports or whatever, I got this idea and I want you to be involved with me. And so what they find themselves doing is feeling pressure that they have to do everything that is presented to them as an opportunity, because they don't want to make anybody feel bad or offend someone because they don't feel like they need to do that thing. And so what I'm trying to talk to my children about and let them know is that when God speaks to you about a direction you should go in, whether it be with your future career, whether it be with sports and athletics that you're involved in, or your academics, when God gives you a game plan, and then someone comes randomly and then presents an opportunity, if that opportunity does not line up with what God has already told you to do, you should be comfortable saying, thank you for your offer. but no thanks. I'm not able to participate in that or do that because it's not in line with the goals and the plans that I have. And so we were talking about that, but then my daughter said that, well, she gave us a scenario, and I'm not going to use any names or any specific example, but she gave a scenario of when she told her friend that, listen, thanks for your offer, but I have a specific plan and I'm working that plan. And what you're offering does not quite line up with my goals. And so I do appreciate you offering me that, but thank you, but I'm not able to do that. And so that friend begins to now say, well, Chelsea is thinks she's, see, she's special, and she don't want to get involved with me, and kind of start getting bitter about Chelsea's decision to not participate in the opportunity that she presented her. And so this oftentimes happened to us as adults. And what happens is when someone says no to us, or when we say no to someone, we get offended, and we think that that person is just simply not cooperating with you, or they're hating on you, or whatever. And so we tend to get offended, or sometimes people get offended with us when we say no to an opportunity. And so, as I was discussing with the children, it's important for you to, number one, have goals, right? Number two, seek God for clarity on the goals and ask God to give you direction and a game plan. And then when He gives you the direction and the game plan, you work the game plan and stay focused. Staying focused is not easy because staying focused can get emotional. It can be emotionally draining, especially when you have friends and even family members sometimes that think that you should do what you're doing with them. And when you say no because that's not the plan God gave you, they become offended. And so staying focused has everything to do with being able to control your emotions, deal with criticism from others that don't understand. And also sometimes people try to manipulate you, or maybe they try to end the relationship because you're not cooperating with their plan, but they're not considering that God has a plan for you and you're working a game plan that's between you and God. See, when Sherilyn and I go in our prayer closet and God answer our prayers, and then He gives us a specific game plan for what we prayed for, it's important that we obey God. And if someone presents us an opportunity that calls for us to disobey what God told us to do, it's on us if we let our emotions cause us to disobey God because we're trying to save face with a friend. You see what I'm saying? And so, how do we handle those external pressures and those relationships that are draining us and are putting pressure on us, to almost peer pressure us into doing what they want us to do versus what we're supposed to be doing? And what I say to my children and what I said to them is that there's a scripture in Romans, and I'm not calling anyone weak, but what I'm saying is there's a scripture in Romans that says that the strong should bear the infirmities of the weak. And what that means in this situation is when you have more information about why you're making your decisions and you're obeying God and all of that stuff, while you know all of this about why you're doing what you're doing, and your friends or family members that are coming from an external place, they don't have all that information or details. It is up to you now to understand that, don't get mad at them. Even if they spread rumors about you, even if they talk bad about you to other people, it is important that you don't fall to the trap of becoming offended by the fact that they don't understand why you said no to them. And so I'm trying to teach my children to be able to be strong and also bear the infirmity of those that don't have all of the information. Even if they judge you, forgive them. Let them go, because what you have is a perspective that is bigger than the perspective that they have. And I'm not actually putting those people down, or you know more about why you're doing what you're doing than they do. And so if they're going to choose to be immature and spread rumors about you because you're trying to stay focused, you cannot afford to fall for the trap, to fall prey to that trap of also getting offended and going into that battle with them. And so when I say Romans says that the strong should bear the infirmity of the weak, when you have understanding about anything that other people don't have, even when they become nasty with you, God calls for us, the strong, or those that have more insight, to bear the infirmity or to deal with the plight of those that don't have that information. And so let them speak bad about you. Don't get offended. You know what? Because you understand where they're coming from. If you're dealing with a person that is immature, then just knowing that they're immature should put you in a position where you say, you know what? I can't even be mad that they're spreading rumors about me, because number one, they need to grow. Number two, they don't have all the information. Number three, they're coming from a place of negativity, and I know that, if they had more information, if they were a little bit more mature, and if they were positive, they would not have done that. But right now, they can't help themselves based on where they're at. So I'm not gonna fall into offense. I'm gonna let it go and stay focused. And so, helping my children with their emotions when they're dealing with, the negative from other people, when they're trying to stay focused, has also given me insight about how I should conduct myself as an adult, because this applies to everybody. We all need to be able to have goals, to stay focused, not get distracted, but also be able to deal with those that persecute us, that do us wrong, that wrongfully accuse us and say stuff about us, that maybe even try to do a smear campaign on you. We all have to be able to come from a place of understanding and bear the infirmity of the weak. Because when they become mature, or when they gain insight and get all the information and understanding as to why you made the decisions you did, when they finally get understanding, they would now understand and forgive you for saying no to them. You see what I'm saying? And it's really important for us to be like that. So I am so happy that we have a choice in how we conduct ourselves. But it takes a lot of work to be able to set goals, hear from God, obey what God told you to do. When God gives you a plan of action, to obey that plan regardless of the external distractions that would come and try to bully you, manipulate you, or force you into a corner to change the plan. You see, we got to all ask ourselves this question. When God speaks and says, hey, do this and do it this way, and then my friend comes and my friend says, I want you to do what you're doing, but do it with me, and here's the plan that I have that we can, grow together and do this, together. If it doesn't fit with what God is telling you to do, you got a choice to make. And this is what I share with my kids. Do I disobey everything that God told me to do after I got up off my knees and God answered my prayers, gave me a game plan and gave me directions? Do I now disobey everything God said to me just to save face with a friend and go down the wrong road, use a completely different game plan than God gave me because I am afraid of what this person would say about me? Or do I obey God and pray that God would touch their heart and have them understand that in this season we cannot do those things together? And so today I just wanted to jump on here and share that real quick with us because I feel that is very important in this season. It's 2021. It's a new year, and a lot of us have dealt with people that spoke badly about us because they feel like, well, you didn't support them. You didn't support them. You didn't partner with them on a project. They feel like you should have partnered with them on that project. They feel like you should have invested in that business with them. They feel like you should have started that ministry with them. They feel like, y'all should have, took that trip together, that y'all should have trained together for this specific thing. They feel like you should have done that real estate thing that they suggested for you and them to do. But if they're not in your prayer closet with you, and if they're not getting the same download that God is giving you and the game plan that God is giving you, then it is your responsibility to communicate to them as best as you could that you do appreciate that they think so highly of you that they would want to partner with you, but the plan that you're on does not cater for that partnership right now. And you know what? Every mature person would understand when you tell them no about something. I call people all the time and ask for partnership on things. I call people and say, hey, I feel like we can collaborate on such and such. But when I make those phone calls and I call people, I already know that every person has goals. Every mature person that is working with God, they already have a game plan from God. And so when I call them, and I prayerfully do call them, but guess what? When I call them and I propose what I'm proposing, I already made provisions in my mind that, you know what, if they say no because what I'm proposing is not part of God's plan for their life in this season, I already let them off the hook for that. And I already made provisions for the fact that they are free to tell me no, they don't want to work with me on that, or they cannot help me on that, or that is going to pull them off course from what God has already got them doing. And so because I treat other people that way, I expect also that, people would also give me that level of flexibility when they call on me to partner or to support them in some way, shape, or form. They would say, you know what? If what I'm asking you to do or what I'm asking you to partner with me on is not appropriate for this season because it'll take you off God's plan for your life, then that's fine. And so, trying to talk to, my children now about how to stand firm with what God is telling you to do. Stand firm on the plans that God gives you and the directions that God gives you. And not let even me, your parent, pull you off track if God already spoke to you. You know what I mean? And hopefully as a parent, I would be mature enough to not manipulate my own children or anybody into doing what I think or want them to do. But I would be mature enough as a parent and a friend to understand that God is working with everyone. And yes, I have the right and the freedom to ask for us to work on something together. But if what I'm asking does not line up with that person's game plan from God for this season of their life, I should be just fine with that. And so I hope that this helps. I just wanted to share it because I believe it was valuable. It was a great conversation that I was able to have with my two youngest kids. And I feel like it applies to all of us, even as adults, because this is something that we constantly wrestle with and struggle with. And relationships get destroyed late, even more now because of social media. You see people posting stuff. Oh, I got my business and all my friends don't want to support me and they're haters and this, that, and the other. Well, let's say you're selling clothes and the style of clothes is not something that your friend wears. Your friend is free to not buy there or not buy it. You know what I mean? If they want to buy and support you and give it to a friend, maybe that's an option. But if that's not their style or that's not their taste, we can't bully, manipulate, or browbeat people to doing things that is beyond who they are. Like, you know what I mean? They have the freedom to say no. And so it's important for us to be able to let those things go. And for those of us that are on the victim end of this conversation, where you feel like people are are pulling your name through the mud and spreading rumors about you because you said no to them about something. Guess what? We need to understand that it's our responsibility to gracefully bow out from those opportunities to become offended, and be the mature, strong person that bears the infirmity of those that don't want to be mature in this season. Amen. So hope that helps. Love you guys. We will not go live tomorrow night. We're starting a new series, and this series is going to talk about we're gonna be talking about anti-marriage spirits running through families and bloodlines. When you look at your family and you look at yourself over the years, you're seeing this pattern of relationships not lasting or ending, or you're in a relationship and all of a sudden you feel like you don't even love and you resent your spouse. Where is that coming from? Like, out of nowhere, this person that you loved and you wanted to be in your life, you resent them now. We're going to talk about that anti-marriage spirit, and we're going to talk about how it comes about. We're going to talk about how you know that anti-marriage spirit is in your life. We're going to talk about your dreams, so that you could see patterns from your dream life, consistent patterns of things that are happening in your dreams, and why it points to the fact that you're dealing with an anti-marriage spirit that's trying to destroy your relationship and trying to pull you away from what God called you to have. So we're going to talk about that, not tomorrow, but the following Sunday. That's going to be an exciting series, probably going to be a 3-part series because we got so much to cover. Anyway, love you guys. I'm home alone. Sherilyn is on her way home with our youngest from training. He had a great opportunity today to go up north and train with his quarterback from high school. Gets personal training from ex-NFL quarterback, a 2-time NFL quarterback is training his friend, and so his friend is a quarterback and he's throwing, so Emmanuel went to catch for him. And so I thought it was so cool and appropriate that on Super Bowl weekend he would get an opportunity to work with someone that was in the NFL, and that's such a cool thing. So anyway, love you guys and look forward to talking to you soon. Have a great night.